Hi, I'm Carla and I have Kim joining me today. Today's practice, we're using a chair. In our Iyengar yoga, we use these just fold out chairs. You want something quite sturdy that can take your weight. You also want something that you can remove the back. So that gives you a lot of space when you're threading yourself through the chair. And useful to have are these bars across the legs of the chair. They keep the chair sturdy. We use them for our feet sometimes. So those ones where the bar runs across the bottom aren't the greatest, but if that's what you can find, then go for it. Chair work today. Chair work is great if you're a beginner, if you can't hold the poses for very long, if you want to explore the poses a little bit. Chair work is also very great if you are elderly, if you're very overweight, if you struggle with your joints, if you're recovering from an illness or an injury. Working with the chair helps you to hold the poses without the added burden of holding your own body weight. So a really, really nice way to work using a chair. We're coming to sit in the cross-legged position. If sitting cross-legged on the floor is not something that you can easily do, here's where having the backrest removed is great. You're going to sit yourself through the chair, sit to the back, so to the front of the seat, so that you can hold the backrest of the chair like a steering wheel and use the chair to lift you up. Kim is sitting on a blanket to get that lift of the sacrum, to get that extension of the sides of the body, using the knees or the chair backrest. Roll the shoulders back and down. Bring the hands into the prayer position. And we're coming to do the 3 Oms here. Just feel that you've maintained the extension of your spine and openness in your chest. Come back to the breath. Releasing your head down, just take a moment here where you're stretching across the back of the neck, stretching across the top shoulders. Lift the chest to meet the chin. Take a moment to salute the divinity within. On the next breath in, lift your chest, lift your head, open your eyes, and release your hands. So if you're in the chair, also if you're quite short, you can put bricks to elevate the feet. If you're in the chair, you stand, you move the chair, and you come out of the chair by moving the chair. Don't try and maneuver yourself around the chair. We're coming now to Virabhadrasana. In Virabhadrasana, we're going to sit with the right side of the body on the chair, and you're sitting sideways on your chair. So with the right side of the body closest to the backrest here, you're keeping the knees together, the feet are together. If it's uncomfortable for you to do that, you can take a shoulder balance foam or a rolled up blanket to help keep the knees together. In Virabhadrasana, as you twist, the one knee is going to shoot forward. So you're trying to keep the knees together. So feel where your buttock bones are. And if you can keep the buttock bones where they are on the chair, you have a better chance of keeping the legs together. You're coming to twist to the right. So the left arm, you're going to pull with the left arm to bring that left shoulder blade into the body. And just press against this right hand to move the right side of the chest, the right front shoulder back. You don't want this front shoulder to come forward on the left side. It's the shoulder blade that comes in. Keep the shoulder back. Keep lifting the breastbone, relaxing the shoulders. Feel what your buttock bones have done. Were you able to keep the knees together so that left knee wants to shoot forward? Keep it tamed. The last thing to turn is the head, only if you have no neck or head injuries or spinal injuries. and then come back to the center, to facing forward. So back to sitting sideways, and either you're going to swing around and take your legs the other way, or turn the chair. Now you're sitting with the left side of the body. So although you're going into a twist, first be mindful of the buttock bones. Keep the legs together. Try to keep the toes together also. Staying with the buttock bones, keeping that pelvic girdle steady. You're going to use the backrest of the chair to turn. Don't lean back. So although you're pushing with the left hand, you're pushing to get an openness across the left side of the chest, not to lean back. Be upright. Exhale, turn. Stay with the buttock bones. Retract that right knee. Inhale from the buttock bones, lift up. Exhale, turn a little bit deeper until you're able to turn your head if you are going to be turning your head. So this is a twist Virabhadrasana done in a seated position. And release and come out of it. Okay, we're going to go into Virabhadrasana II now. With Virabhadrasana II, when you step the legs wide and you bend that front knee, the front knee shouldn't be towards the small side, the big toe side. The buttock bone has to come in and the knee has to move towards the small toe side. It shouldn't cave in. Sitting on a chair, this bar of the backrest of the chair will help to keep that front knee back in position. So you're going to come to stand in Tadasana, and you're sitting your right leg over the chair, and your left leg, you're going to extend it back. So first, keep the left leg bent for now. Get the right buttock bone in. You're turning towards the backrest of the chair for Virabhadrasana II. So again, you're using the hands like you did in Virabhadrasana. You're pushing into this left hand to get this left side of the chest to open up. You're pulling on the right hand to get the right side of the shoulder to come forward. But now the right knee stays back, the right buttock comes in. You bring the right buttock in, you have to have openness in this right groin, and you want to lift from this right side of the abdomen, not just lifting up, but also turning to the left. Then start to straighten the left leg if you haven't yet. You're keeping the shoulder girdle over the pelvic girdle. If you've sat well enough into your chair, the bars of the chair should be holding that pelvis open, holding that knee back. To complete the pose, Virabhadrasana II, you extend into the arms, relax the shoulders, lift your breastbone, release the shoulders away from the ears. And then keep your chest facing the backrest of the chair. Don't turn to the right, only your head turns to the right. Lock the elbows, extend the arms, breathe. So now, because you're not having to hold yourself in the position, you're able to hold it a little bit more, explore it a bit more, get the chest shape, the arm shape, work on that strengthening of the back leg. Keep turning the head to look over the right side and bring that right shoulder blade and that right buttock in. When you've been there for a few breaths, release your hands back down onto the seat of the backrest of the chair and work your way to standing. And then you're just going to move the chair across so that you can sit on it with the left leg. Remember, first, get that left buttock right in, get that left knee to touch so that the chair is reminding you to open up, open your chest. Use the backrest of the chair to bring this left shoulder blade in, open the left side of the chest, push away with that backrest to open the right shoulder back. Once you've got that right leg straight and strong, make sure you're not leaning to the left by lifting the left side of the abdomen up, rolling from the left abdomen to the right. When you do that, keep the left buttock in. This left foot should be in Tadasana, and keep moving that inner knee away from the inner groin. Breathe here. Keeping the shoulders over the pelvis, extend into the arms. Extend from the breastbone, broaden across to the thumb, stretch into the fingers, and from the pinky, retract into the shoulders. The head turns to the left. When you turn to the left, keep the right leg strong, keep the right arm strong. Breathe. Feel how you can really just explore the breath and the movement of the openness of the chest in this pose when you don't have to hold your own weight up. Now releasing the hands, you're going to bring that right foot in and come to standing. Okay, so the chair is very useful also for Parsvakonasana. Parsvakonasana, you kind of go into it almost like Virabhadrasana II to start off with. So now we're going to turn the backrest is away from you, and you're bringing your right buttock to the seat of the chair, right knee. So you have to thread your right leg through. And we're coming back to Virabhadrasana II. So with that backrest pinning the knee in position, you're going to extend this left leg back. Turn away from the backrest of the chair because you're coming back to Virabhadrasana II. So now just using the backrest for support, get that lift of the right side of the abdomen. Left leg strongly resists back. Remember, you're turning the abdomen from right to left. In Parsvakonasana, you want length on the side of the body. So when you come into it, you're going to have a brick to help you. When you come into it, lift that right arm and hook the armpit over the chair. So the backrest of the chair is going to help to get that length. And then you've got your brick. You can either take the brick to the back of the foot, like the classic position, or you can bring it in front where you can help to wedge this knee back also. Breathe here. The top hand, just keep it in the waist. Keep opening that left hip out, right buttock in. Lift your chest. Feel that extension on the side of the body because the chair is holding you in position. If you'd like to complete the pose and take the top hand up and over, the palm faces the floor. You've got a beautiful plumb line from the foot through the knee, the hip, the chest, all the way to the fingertips. Breathe. Lift your breastbone. Breathe. When you've been there for a few breaths, you can bring that arm down, push yourself back to Virabhadrasana II and come out of the chair. Okay, then we're going to have to move the chair to the other side of the mat. Take your brick along with it, and you're threading the left leg through the chair. Have the left buttock closed so that the left knee is going to be pinned in position by the backrest of the chair. And even the heel, yes. So now open up. As you open up, you're bringing this left buttock in. You're lifting the left side of the abdomen. You can use the chair in the meantime just to get that turn, to get the chest balanced over the pelvis. The brick is in position already. Now, extending the left arm up. Get that lovely stretch. Don't lose it as you come over the chair. So hooking the armpit, if you're really short, this might really not work, but hooking the armpit gives you that lovely length on the side of the body. Take your hand in front or behind the foot. This back leg, you have to try and keep the toes tucked in, keep that inner thigh strong, keep opening from the left to the right in the pelvis. When you complete the pose, you lock the elbow, you keep lifting your chest and trying to look past the upper arm to the ceiling. Got this beautiful straight plumb line. Breathe here. Feel the freedom of being supported in this pose. And then when you've held it for the same length of time as the other side, when you feel ready to come up, you're going to just push yourself away from the chair and come up to standing. Okay, Parighasana is the side stretch. It is more comfortable to do Parighasana when you've got some softness for under the knees. So take a blanket for under the knees. We're going to use the chair for Parighasana, so don't worry about having a brick, and you're kneeling on the blanket. If you're unable to get an extension of the front ankle, then stack a few more blankets so that your toes can maybe hang off the edge. You're going to have to just decide or gauge once you're in the pose the distance of the chair. So you're keeping that left thigh bone perpendicular to the floor. Bring the right leg out, and you're hooking the toes, the toe mounds onto the front seat of the chair there. And then extending the right arm up. Get that length that you had a moment ago in Parsvakonasana. Suck up the right knee, move the root of the right thigh to the left, and bring your right hand to the chair. Just press the right hand onto the chair. Use the support of the chair to scoop that right shoulder blade and the right buttock in. Don't let the right shoulder come up to the ear. Keep bringing the buttocks in and keep the lift of that thigh on the left side, and then extend the left arm up and over. Strong right leg. Firm up the right knee. Breathe. You've got the support of the chair to help hold you and to help turn you. Breathe. And you're only going to hold it as long as you're comfortable. When you feel that you need to come up, press the chair away from you. Use the momentum of that left arm to come up and just bring the knees together. You can sit on your heels if you need to have a rest moment here. You're going to move the chair to the left side when you're ready. Once more, you're hooking the ball of the foot onto the chair rung and bring it as close to you, as far away from you as you need to get that right thigh bone to be perpendicular to the floor. From here, firm up the left leg, keep pressing into the right shin. Find that extension when you lift the left arm, move from the root of the left thigh, get that extension that you felt a moment ago on the chair in Parsvakonasana. Press that right shin bone down, keep the left leg firm and the left buttock coming in. Once you've taken your right arm over your head, remember the palm faces the floor, and you're turning your chest, you're turning to see, can you look up past that right upper arm? Breathe. Firm up the legs, firm up the left leg, breathe. Press into the right shin, and you're going to use your breath to help you. So as you exhale, you're going to press into this hand. As you inhale, lift that right arm, make the chest full and come up. Knees together and just sit and rest for a moment. Prasarita is a lovely forward bend extension. So if you are a beginner and you struggle with Prasarita Parsvottanasana, you're going to use the chair to rest your forehead onto. Okay, so once you come up, you're taking the feet wide. Okay, if you don't need to have the mat actually, so wider feet. Make sure that you're not on a slippery floor though. Wider feet. And now bring your hands onto the chair. So as a beginner, if this is as much as you can do, fair enough. Otherwise, bending your arms, see can you cross your elbows. Firm up the thighs. If you can move your armpits forward and rest your head with a little bit more openness, you can also do that. So this brings the body more into an Adho Mukha Svanasana shape. Most beginners don't have the flexibility to get into the full pose, and the full pose is what you use as preparation for Sirsasana. So being in Prasarita Parsvottanasana helps you to catch your breath, and helps you to develop flexibility to hopefully get you into the full pose, to get you to be comfortable with being upside down. If you do have a regular practice and you'd like to do Sirsasana, you can pause the video now and do your own Sirsasana practice and then join us for the floor work. Right, you're going to push your hands into the chair to help you to come up and start to bring the feet together. And we're sitting in Dandasana on the floor. So if you need height for under the buttocks, turn facing this way. If you need height under the buttocks to sit in Dandasana, the legs are extended out in front of you. You're on the buttock bones. The sacrum is lifted. If you need height for Dandasana, absolutely take a blanket for some height. You're going to bring the neat edge of the blanket. You can either fold it in half and in half again, or in a threefold. Here you've got the neat edge of the blankets that you can sit onto. Sit this side. Taking the legs apart for Upavistha Konasana to start off with. So from Dandasana, taking the legs apart. In Dandasana, you want to keep the inner thighs down. Take your fingertips next to you. Lift the sides of the body, lift the chest. You have to decide if you need more height or not. You obviously are trying to take the legs as wide apart as possible. But if you have any hip issues, don't force it. Only do what is comfortable for you. Listen to your body. Upavistha Konasana is the seated pose where you're keeping the toes upright, the knee faces up to the ceiling, the legs, the muscles of the legs are firm and alert. Coming to Parivritta means turning. So we're going to go to the right side first. Once again, we're going to use our chair. So you can take the chair over your shin, and here the ball of the foot will be held by the back rung of the chair, and you're turning to the left. Turn to the left, take the left hand behind you, use the right hand to come to your twist. You want to stay twisting, so you stay facing away from the chair. Raise your right arm up, and again, finding that extension, extend yourself, take your elbow, your forearm, your hand, whatever is comfortable onto the chair. If you want to turn the hand down and use it to grip, that's also fine. If you would prefer to have the forearm across the chair and grip in that manner to help you to turn, whatever grip is comfortable for you on the chair, take it. But feel not only are you turning, but you're getting lovely length on the right side of the body. And then the left leg arm comes up and over. And breathe. And with that grip on the chair, turn, bring the shoulder blade into the body, turn, look up past that left arm, breathe. Breathe. When you've been there for a few breaths, release that left arm, push yourself away with the right arm, come to standing back in Upavistha Konasana. Parivritta Janu Sirsasana is pretty much the same shape, except you're bending up the leg. So bending the left leg once more, twist away from the chair. Did you get a little cramp? Twist away from the chair. And again, the chair is helping you to get length and height, so that you're not going all the way deeply into the pose. So stretch the right arm up, get that length, go to the chair. Grip the chair however you want to, whichever manner you need to, that helps you get not just that extension, but that twist. And then the top arm comes up and over. So this is a beautiful way of practicing to give you space to move, to explore the pose a little bit. And also if you're a beginner and you struggle getting down in this pose. When you've been there for a few breaths, you're going to use that pressure of the right hand, lift that left hand on an inhalation to come up, and then just stretch the legs in Upavistha Konasana, take them together in Dandasana, and rest in between. So especially if you are very tight, if you do struggle with the hips, stop in Dandasana in between. Coming to Upavistha Konasana. So wide legs. You're taking the chair again over the shin, resting the ball of the foot on the back rung. It does help to keep the foot alert, both feet alert, hands at your sides, get a nice full extension of the spine. When you're ready, on an exhalation, take the right hand behind you, turn to the right. Use the hands to get a deeper twist. Now, extend the left arm up and go over to the chair. So the height of the chair is giving you that full extension on the side of the body. Keep the right hand in the waist, especially if you're a beginner. You're turning the right side of the chest back, you're turning the right elbow back, back of the neck is long. Then if you're able to, take the right arm up and over. You use the grip of this left arm to help you to turn. Keep breathing. Inhale, extend that arm up, extend the right side of the body. Exhale, turn. Bring the left shoulder blade into the body. Turn. When you've held it for a few breaths, push into the left hand and come up, stretching into that right arm. And now bend up the right knee to come to Parivritta Janu Sirsasana. First, find your twist. Then extend the left arm up. Extend the left arm up, get that length, go to the chair. Use the chair to help maintain the length and to twist. Taking your right hand either in your waist or up and over, complete the pose to whatever's within your practice. Each exhalation, you keep that right knee grounded, you roll that right outer thigh down. Each exhalation, you turn, each inhalation, you stretch, lock the elbow, breathe. And when you've had enough, push the chair away from you to come up. Okay. And then just extend the right leg out to Upavistha Konasana. Bring the legs together, coming to Dandasana. Be in Dandasana for a few breaths. So there's some wonderful ways of finishing off your practice using the chair. Viparita Dandasana is a super challenging pose for most people. It's when you're in Sirsasana, but actually you're in a back bend and your feet are the other side of your head. So we're going to use the chair to support for Viparita Dandasana. You're going to use the chair. If this is an upholstered chair, if you have a slippery chair, you can fold up your mat, or you can put a blanket just for some softness, but just make sure you don't slide all over the chair and that the blanket is nice and smooth. You're going to sit through the seat of the chair, but you do want some height for your head. So taking your shoulder balance foams 2 and 2 in a nice strip jutting out away from the chair, and a bolster also. This is going to give you height for your head and your arms. So sitting through the chair, the backrest is facing you. Sit on the chair first. Now, where babies get those 2 dimples, your sacrum, you want the sacrum to be supported by the back of the chair. So come through the chair, get the flesh of the buttocks right through the chair with the sacrum against the back seat. You're going to lie down. Hopefully it's not one size fits all, but hopefully around the shoulder blade region is supported by the front seat of the chair. Holding onto the chair, you can take your head back to rest. So push into the feet, yes. Take your head to rest. If you have a neck injury and you need to take more height or more support, then do. Your head and neck okay in this? You can keep holding on to the chair for starters. Here, the seat of the chair should hopefully have held the buttock flesh a little bit in position, and then you can work at slowly starting to straighten your legs. If the chair is very high and you're very little, you might not be able to straighten your legs. If straightening the legs catches your back, don't do it for very long. Feel it, bend your knees, come back to the bent knee position. If you can keep the legs straight or bent, whatever works for you. If you feel steady and secure, the head has started to release, you've got that pressure on the crown of the head like Sirsasana. Can you take your arms over your head, either holding the forearms, holding the bolster, whatever you can manage, knowing that the classic pose is interlacing the fingers behind the head, taking the hands like in Sirsasana position. It does require a lot of mobility in the shoulders and openness in the armpits. So this is our release pose, Viparita Dandasana. Lovely, wonderful pose to do. And we're also finishing off with chair Sarvangasana. Chair Sarvangasana is the shoulder balance. Shoulder balance done in the chair helps you to hold it for a little bit longer, and it is easier to hold. So when you're ready to come up, you're going to bend your knees. You're going to bring your hands to the backrest of the chair, tucking in your chin, slide the buttocks back, pull yourself up using the chair, and just sit the buttocks back, stay on the chair for a moment, where the neck is in a neutral position. So Viparita Dandasana, you want to be in the chair for your pose, but in shoulder balance, you don't need to be in the chair. What you do want for shoulder balance is either a nice firm bolster, or if you don't have a firm bolster, you're going to use these same shoulder balance foams, A4 size firm foam, one on top of the other, and then across. So you've got 4 foams, 2, and another 2. Depending on the length of your body, you may need to adjust the distance between the foams and the chair. A blanket is helpful to keep the foams together and also to create a little bit of softness. Another blanket for your head, just to allow the back of the neck to glide and the head to slip so it doesn't get trapped. And you can either fold up your mat to put on top of your chair, or you can put a blanket. You're going to sit sideways on the chair, exactly like we did at the beginning of class in the twist. And now you're going to hook your knees over the backrest of the chair. Once you are in this position, just don't feel that you're weighing the legs down so that the chair doesn't flip up. You want to keep a little bit of space for the sacrum at the edge of the seat of the chair. Using your abdominals, lower yourself down to get your shoulders onto the foams. You have to let go of your hands at some point. If you are narrow enough to slide your hands in between the legs of the chair to hold the back legs, you do. At some point, you have to let the legs straighten so that the knees will slide down and the shoulders then connect to the foams. Back of the neck is long. If you have an extra blanket at your disposal, you could have placed it around the backrest of the chair, and that would soften the blow at the back of the shins. But if you have a handmaiden who can place either a bolster or a blanket there, then this makes Shavasana a lot more comfortable. Here, you can feel the weight is on the shoulders. There's that chin lock, the Jalandhara Bandha. And there's that lovely plumb line from the ankle through the knee, through the hip, through the shoulder that you require in shoulder balance. And then there's this openness in the groins, the openness in the abdomen that we struggle with so much in shoulder balance, some of us. Feel that the buttocks are supported by the chair. The sacrum is hooked into the chair, so nothing is pinching or catching you. Back of the neck long, throat soft. And you're just taking a few breaths here. This is shoulder balance in the chair, Salamba Sarvangasana. You wouldn't do Salamba Sarvangasana if you had any neck or shoulder injuries, even on the chair. You also wouldn't do it if you have a massive headache or if you're menstruating. If you don't do inversions generally in your practice, this is a nice way to learn Sarvangasana, but have a friend nearby to help you get into it. When you're ready to come out of the chair, you're going to bend your knees and take your feet onto the backrest of the chair, and then release your hands. And then you're going to push the chair away from you or slide off the chair, whichever is convenient for you. If you have space to slide, it's really nice to slide and land up with your legs on the chair, land up with your hips on the shoulder support, and land up with your head and your shoulders on the floor. This is also a nice, comfortable way to even do Shavasana. And we are going to do Shavasana with our legs on the chair, but we are going to move all the supports out the way. So move your feet through the chair, roll off your supports. If you are in a cold area, you can get yourself dressed warmly. All that you need is a blanket for your head and neck. And the chair is there to put your legs onto. So measure yourself up. Lying down. You're going to sit with your buttocks close to the chair. Lying down, taking the head and the neck support. And then the chair is supporting the shins and the legs. Let the knees flop out. The toes are coming together. Feel the weight of the knee, the thigh resting into the pelvis. In this position, because the knees are bent, the buttock flesh is already away from the back way, so you don't have too much fanfare with adjusting. Shoulders relaxed, arms at your sides. Make sure that the back of the neck is long. Keep the throat quiet, the chin dropping towards the chest, the skin of the face from the hairline down towards the chin, completely releasing and relaxing. Relax also the muscles of the face, especially the cheeks and the mouth. Each inhalation, just hold you in this Shavasana state. Each exhalation, settle the shoulders, settle the pelvis. Rest in Shavasana. You can stay in Shavasana for as long as you want or need. When you feel ready to come out, start to allow the breath to deepen, the inhalation especially. Bring your hands to rest anywhere on your abdomen where it's comfortable and connect with the breath once more. And in inhalation, you can take your arms over your head, give your body a long, deep stretch, and yawn or sigh the breath out. And then being mindful of the chair, just bring your knees closer to your chest, roll onto your right-hand side. The right arm supports the head. Left side of the body is just in a quiet Shavasana, state still, resting into the right side. You're going to bring the head up last. So when you coming out of Shavasana, put your left hand into the floor, push yourself away from the floor, come into a seated position. Any comfortable seated position will do. With the hands in the prayer position, let the eyes close. Just take a moment here to check in with how your body is feeling. Letting the breath become deeper, bringing you back to the full surface of consciousness. With a small smile on your face, give thanks for the health and strength of your body. And on the next breath in, let the eyes gently flutter open and focus. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy practicing.